Hey everyone, it's Matt from Train Sim Society and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. So we've got another big preview coming up this week for TSW6, and honestly, this is the one I've been waiting for the most out of all of them, the Morristown line. So this is a proper revisit of New Jersey Transit, and we are heading back to the East Coast in TSW6. Now that alone has me pretty excited, but what makes this even better is that while we wait for the preview stream, the Q&A thread for the route has already gone up on the forums. Now, normally these threads are just there to gather questions for the developers to answer live, but this one is a little different. We've actually had two people chime in with information worth paying attention to. First is Cactus Juice, who many of you may know as Brandon, and a community member named Max, who I'm fairly certain has been part of the beta testing for this. So that's what I want to focus on today, because the posts from these two already tell us quite a bit. So first, starting with Brandon, he confirmed he personally did the signaling for the Morristown line, and for me personally, that instantly sets my mind at ease. I was a little bit worried about whether he was on the project or not. I've said before that if Brandon is handling signals, I know they're going to be accurate. They are definitely going to be detailed, and most importantly, they're going to be correct. So he's the pair of hands behind the signaling on Boston to Worcester, which in my opinion was damn near perfect, and also the signaling on the reworked Long Island Railroad commuter route, which again was spot on, and I believe he even did signaling for Boston to Providence as well. So his resume is pretty stacked, and with what he has contributed to the game has been incredible work. So I gotta give my 10s where 10s are due, and all of those routes are definitely standouts for some great examples of signaling we've seen in TSW, more specifically for US routes. So for the Morristown line, Brandon explained that he had unusually detailed source materials to work from, which doesn't happen often, but in this case allowed him to basically recreate the signal system exactly as it performs in real life. This is awesome news. He did clarify that his role was strictly on signals and not safety systems, so definitely keep that in mind if you run into bugs or problems with them. We see this all the time in TSW. Those are not at the hands of Brandon, but honestly, just knowing that he was involved in any capacity makes me feel a lot better about this route. It makes me feel a lot better than I already did, because I already have very high hopes for it. I mean, look at some of the past US routes. In my opinion, they are superb. And it's also been confirmed by Brandon himself that he is going to be a part of the preview stream this week, so we will definitely get to hear more directly from him then. Now on to Max, known as Max1319 over on the forums. He's been leaving small hints throughout the thread that really caught my attention too. Max also made comments about the Aero 3 units, specifically about the spacing between cars and the barriers between them. This was brought up after our dev diary and of course Dovetail direct preview that we saw for the Morristown line, which raised a lot of concerns, something I initially overlooked because I was just so excited about the fact that New Jersey Transit was finally coming back to TSW. So the fact that Max left comments about those issues tells me that hopefully those visual details have been noticed and possibly addressed. No confirmation on that, but at least I can hope that maybe if we don't see them at launch, we will hopefully see them in a future patch. He also responded to some of the questions about electrification accuracy, like neutral sections and voltage, which suggests that those systems have at least been looked at more closely this time. No confirmation, we just got a smiley face, so really hoping that that is taken care of. And as far as neutral sections, I'm hoping that we have those implemented. If I'm not mistaken, if they are implemented, I think it would be the first US route, because I know that they exist on Boston to Providence, but I don't think that they impact gameplay in any way. And I know for a fact on New York to Trenton, we don't have them. If I'm wrong about that though, please feel free to correct me. But the way that Max is talking within this thread, he isn't outright confirming everything, but I think it is clear that he's had hands-on time with the route. So I think that definitely gives his post some extra weight, and also together with Brandon's confirmation point on signaling, and all of that aligns with my initial gut feeling. Out of the 3 launch routes, I've just had a sense that the Morristown line might end up being the standout here out of all the new content coming. I've mentioned this before, US content in TSW has really been on the upswing lately. San Bernardino, Boston to Worcester, just to name a few, have all been superb in my opinion. Strong build quality, solid rolling stock, great sounds in my opinion, and honestly, I would even extend that back to Long Island Railroad commuter. Despite some bugs here and there, that route was amazing. Signaling, damn near perfect on that too. So I mean, Brandon has quite the resume. The fact that he's on this, I'm so much more excited. And I know this is a bold claim. We haven't seen the preview. Heck, we don't even have the DLC yet, but I really do feel like it is possible Morristown has the potential to be the best US route we have seen so far in TSW. I'm gonna say it. The hype is definitely there for me, but I don't want to get too carried away. We gotta wait and see how things look, see how things perform, and I also really hope that they do preview streams for these routes on Gen 9 consoles as well, because even if the experience isn't totally different in terms of timetable layers, the specs for Gen 9 consoles can be vastly different from running it on PC, where you can configure it in any way you please. I really like that they did that for the Frankfurt S-Bahn preview, and I understand why, because they had a reduced timetable, but I feel like those players would appreciate seeing how things look and perform there. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Are you excited for the Morristown line? Does seeing Brandon's name attached to the signaling give you the same level of confidence that it gives me? I sure hope so. That's gonna be it from me for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care and happy rail simming, guys.